everyone, Amanda here from Scrimpingmommy.co.uk. So today I'm going to have a go with the Breathtaking Bouquet, which is a large background stamp. It's very detailed, it's very on trend. I see people like Jennifer Maguire and Kelly Werner, you know, them names that shouldn't be mentioned. other fantastic artists, all joking aside, use these kind of stamps and do such beautiful things. You can do all sorts. You can do inky backgrounds, watercolouring. You could hand colour with markers or alcohol markers or watercolour pencils. You know, the possibilities are endless, really. It's a beautiful, beautiful image to get to colour. And I was massively inspired by another UK demonstrator. She's called Lindsay, and her surname is Lindsay as well. Always used to confuse me, but they are spelt differently. And she made a beautiful card. I did share it on my Facebook. I saw it on Instagram. It was beautiful. If I can even do half a job that she did, then I'll be laughing. I probably won't, because I'm not brilliant at watercolouring. So I've got these postcards, had them in my stash forever, and I just thought what a nice idea to see if I could do it on a postcard, and then you could send them out. And these are really inexpensive. I got these from a shop called Wilko in the UK, and you get 12 for literally about 50p. I'm not even joking. Alright, but what a great idea anyway to, you know, do your design. You might need to do it, I'm going to have to do it the other way around, and what I do is I do the design on that side, put my stamp on there, and then do the address there. I don't know, is that the way you do it? Or are you meant to write on the back? I think you're meant to write, but instead I'd be sending, you know, art in the mail instead of writing a message. Anyway, I know what I'm on about. I can use these in journals, I could do whatever. Alright, so, just an idea. Now, it's not watercolour paper, so I don't know how it's going to turn out. We'll just play it by ear. And what I might need to do is just dry it thoroughly, alright, and then I might need to put it underneath a heavy book if it warps. Or another thing that I'll do is I'll very carefully, might just do a cool iron on it. We'll see, because I'm going to emboss, so that might not be a good idea. Although as long as you use a towel underneath, it would be fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop waffling. I'm going to ink this beautiful, beautiful stamp. It is one of the larger ones, so you do need an E-block. However, if you don't have an E-block, you might have something like the Stamparatus or one of the other stamping precision tools. Or I've got a glass mat. You could just stick it to the glass mat, ink it up, and put your paper over the top. Alright, and failing that, stick it to your stamp box and use that. Alright, it's just easier if you've got the large block, because you're going to get nice even pressure because it's a solid block. Alright, I'm using Versamark, and I have used my Dust Buddy, and that is supposed to, I don't really know, if I'm honest, what the point of it is, but I just do it because I don't know, in case some big disaster happens. Right, so I think it just basically stops the static, so that the embossing powder only sticks to the embossed area and not the rest of your card. I'm only joking, I know it's for real, I'm just messing about. Right, so I'm going to go for just a partial. Alright, so I'm just layering it on there, and then I'm just going to very gently, but at the same time firmly, press all around, trying to make sure that it doesn't move, and trying to make sure that I have covered, you know, that I have pressed all of the stamp, so that I've got all of it on there and it's not patchy. Although if it is, I'm not too worried, doesn't matter, it's just crafting, it's meant to be fun. Doesn't have to be perfect. So I've lifted that off quite quickly, and I've just got some tissue, I've got various paintbrushes, a pot of water, I've got some watercolour paints that I've stolen from Alexia. They are called Dela and Rowner. It's just a little set that we have and we share, and I've also got like a heap of Stampin' Up inks that I can use as watercolours, because I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to put something under there. I don't want to mash up all of my all of my embossing there. So what I'm going to do is I'm using white embossing powder. I'm starting at the top, I'm sprinkling it all over the entire thing, and then I'm just going to gently, I think this has got a bit of glitter in it as well. I can just see one spot there where it's stuck where it shouldn't, just in the middle of that flower there. I'm just going to try and brush that off. There we go, it'll be alright. End it, Dave, it's not perfect. Doesn't matter. Art's not perfect. Alright, and it is art, as far as I'm concerned. Just like if you warm up a pizza in a microwave, that is cooking, right? So by the same token that is cooking, and it is because you've added heat to food, that's cooking. Any kind of craft endeavour is art, because it's a way of expressing yourself and what you like, and there's no right or wrong. Okay, so I've got my heat gun, I'm just going to set it going. You might want to turn your volume down, depends if it bothers you or not. Alright, I'm just going to wait while that heats up, and then just bring it over to myself. Alright, and then I always do it at an angle like that, and just keep going until you've set all of that embossing. You can fast forward if you want, I won't be offended. Okay. And it's quite clear to see when it's done because the embossing changes colour basically, and you can see it changing. It's brilliant fun. Heat tools are a good investment because they do, you know, it's one of those crafty tools that will last you a very long time. So if you're thinking, oh, that's a bit of an expensive tool, it might be a bit of an initial outlay, but they last literally like years. In the whole time I've been crafting, this is my second one. And it's not Stampin' Up because I purchased it before I joined Stampin' Up, so I'm not replacing things for the sake of it. Okay, that's nearly done. There is quite a lot to do there because it's very detailed. We want to make sure that all of that is cooked, as it were. Alright, and that is all done and all sorted. So I've got a tiny bit of warping, but it doesn't matter. Look at that, it's lovely already. Alright, and then you can just start and you can do your watercolouring. So let's have a look what we're going to have. No idea. Don't know. Undecided. I quite fancy some. Let's have a look what we've got in here. Alright, I may well stop filming and then start again when I'm kind of halfway through, so you don't have to watch the whole lot. I've not decided what I'm going to do yet. I don't know, it depends how long it starts and takes me. Alright, so let's have some of this. In fact, I really like Pizzazz for leaves. I don't think you can go wrong, and lucky for me I've got one of the older style ink pads still that I can squeeze like so, and it puts the ink on the inside there, and then I can use that as my paint palette. Alright, so all I have to do then is just start and paint very slowly, just dot that on. Alright, and then the embossing will resist it, and when it's dried we can give it a wipe with a cloth, and any that is remaining on the white embossed outline will wipe off. Okay, right, I can see this taking me quite a while, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to probably pause the video, alright, and get cracking, and I'll be back with you in a moment. Otherwise you're going to get bored, aren't you, watching me paint every single leaf. Alright, so I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so this is where I'm up to so far. So I thought I'd just show you a little bit of what I'm doing, because I'm trying to add some bits and bobs of different colour, but it's super easy to do. So I'm doing Flirty Flamingo here, so I'm going to water it down. So what I'm going to start with, I'm going to concentrate on, no, I'm going to do this flower here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to do this gentle watercolour wash of the Flirty Flamingo all over the flower. Right, so I'm just colouring it all in. Really easy, all the same. Just colour it all with that lovely wash. Alright, leave it speckled there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a slightly deeper colour. I'm going to go in with Calypso Coral, alright, which is just a little bit of a darker colour. But what you want to do is you want to make sure it's really watery. Alright, that's the key. So I'm adding some water in there, just dabbing it on my tissue. And what I'm doing is I'm just gently, just tapping where I want some darker colour. Alright, and because it's watery, that colour will spread on its own. It's so easy to watercolour. You know, I mean, you know, I'm not like some big artist or anything, but this is how I do it. And then you just drop it on and it will spread up the paper. And if you've got watercolour paper, it'll do it even better. But just dab it and leave it to kind of suck up, capillary action, it'll suck up the paper. Alright, so that's how I've got the different tones there. Alright, I hope you saw that. Can you see? Shall I do it again? So if I do some on this one over here, so I'm starting with the Flirty Flamingo, nice and watery, okay, and just literally colour the whole of that gently with that very, very watery ink. Don't even matter if you go out the lines. Alright, so that's that coloured. Rewash my brush, and then I'm going in with the darker colour here. Again, nice and watery. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just touch, just slightly, like that, just around and about where I fancy, to just add some different colour. It doesn't even matter if it's not perfect, because when it's dry, it's going to look awesome. Alright, so then that's adding 2 colours to that flower, and that's all I've done. I'm just going to leave that, and when I've finished colouring, if it's still wet, I'll heat set it just quickly flick over with my heat tool. So I've just got these 2 flowers to colour, and then I'll be back. Okay, so here is my finished watercolour floral postcard. Now, because they weren't watercolour postcards, the ink has, you know, the watercolouring has gone through. So there you go, you live and learn. You can get watercolour ones. I will get those next time. So not all is lost. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it into a card. Alright, so I've finished adding all the colour that I want. I've added some shades, I've wiped it over, and I've added some red line tape to the back. And what I've done is I've cut a card layer there, which is 4 by 3 7/8. Alright, so I'm going to glue that onto there. Well, not glue, but we're going to attach that on there. So let me just line it up. I'm using red line tape because it's nice and strong, and you know, I want it to hold that image down flat, because obviously, you know, I've watercoloured it, so the paper's a little bit wibbly wobbly, but we can make it lay flat with some strong adhesive. It's not a problem. So let me just remove all of that, and then I've made a card base out of, I believe it's Blackberry Bliss, and that measures 11 3/4 by 4 1/8, scored in the middle at 5 7/8, I think. I believe so. Right, so that is attached on there now, and that's a beautiful, beautiful card front. So let me just zoom out ever so slightly, and here is my card base. Get off. And I'm going to attach that now onto my card with some Tombow. Alright, and then I've just got one finishing touch that I'm going to add. I'm going to add some Contraband. Contraband is non-Stampin' Up product, but I do mix and match my products. I don't have a problem with it, and I don't think you should. I've cut my card wrong there. I've cut it ever so slightly wrong. Not to worry. I don't know what I've done there. I don't know how I've managed that, but I'm not going to worry about it. So I've cut that slightly wrong. I'll readjust after the camera. I'll trim that, and I've cut that the wrong size for some reason. Don't know what I've done. Not to worry. So that is on there now. I'm just going to trim that. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to trim it and leave it. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Let me just trim where that, just a little bit shorter. Let me just trim a sliver off the bottom so it's nice and even, and straight there we go. That's that problem solved. I'm not worried. And then what I've got is I've just got a little bit of glitter glue. Alright, I've got a paintbrush that's not wet. I'll use this one. Could do the one that's a bit more. I'll use my finger. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this glitter glue, it's Stickles, and I'm just going to add it to the centre of each flower and then just dot it around with my finger, so it will be a very subtle, you know, sparkle. Just going to add it here and there and then dot it with my finger. Alright, like that. In fact, I'll put it on there and then we'll dot it like that. I'm just adding it to the centre. And here I'll do it just round and about, just dotting it, just to add a little bit of sparkle to those flowers. Because, you know, who don't like a bit of sparkle? I do. And I also like crafting and getting a messy. And there we go, that's finished. And I think that's a beautiful, beautiful card. And that is an absolutely stunning set. And let me remind you, it is called Breathtaking Bouquet, and it certainly is. I think that's wonderful. I'm looking forward to sending that out. I just need to find somebody I'm going to send it to. Go and have some fun, get all inky and messy. Get your watercolour brushes out. Pot of water, you can use your Stampin' Up inks just the same as you can use the watercolour inks, and get yourself some really good effects. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon. I best go tidy up. Bye.